Most people treat small talk like the opening band at a concert, something you tolerate until the main act, real conversation, finally comes on stage. But here's the truth. Small talk is the main act. Every friendship, every relationship, every business connection you've ever had started with it. Even your best friend began as a stranger, who probably asked you something painfully awkward like, "What classes are you taking?" So why does small talk feel fake, shallow, or even exhausting, especially for introverts? And more importantly, how can you make it easier, natural, and maybe even fun? The answer comes down to one skill, not charisma, not memorized lines, not networking hacks. It's something far simpler. It's called active observation. Part 1. Why small talk feels hard. Let's start here. Why does small talk feel like pulling teeth? For introverts, there are usually 3 reasons. Overthinking. You feel like you need the perfect line or the perfect timing. Pressure. You think every small talk moment has to lead to a deep conversation. Energy drain. You're trying to perform instead of just being present. The result? You either avoid it completely or you stick to autopilot questions like, "What do you do?" which sound like a job interview instead of a real conversation. Here's the reframe. Small talk isn't about what you say, it's about how you make the other person feel. Part 2. Active observation. Active observation is simple. You stop focusing on what to say and start noticing what's in front of you. Not vibes, not energy, not some mystical aura. I mean the literal details. Their clothes, their drink, the book in their hand. The way they keep glancing at the clock like they'd rather be anywhere else. Instead of inventing a clever line, you make a comment on one of those details. That's it. And suddenly, small talk stops being an interrogation and starts being a shared moment. Part 3. Why it works. There are 2 reasons active observation works so well. People love to feel seen. Not in the deep, "you understand my soul" way, just in the basic human way of, "Hey, I noticed you exist." Think about it. When was the last time someone noticed a tiny detail about you? A watch you wore, a book you carried, the way you take your coffee. It sticks. It's disarming. You're not demanding information. You're not making someone justify their choices. You're just tossing out a small, neutral comment that lets them decide whether to engage. That's why active observation feels refreshing. It doesn't pressure anyone. It just opens the door. Part 4. Examples you can steal. Coffee shop. Instead of, "What are you reading?" say, "That book looks like it's been through a war." Instantly lighter, less pressure. Party. Someone has food on their plate that looks questionable? Say, "Is that the chicken? Or did it fight back?" Now you've made it funny, not forced. Work meeting. Someone has bright yellow shoes? Try, "Bold choice. I respect it." That's it. No overthinking. Halloween party. Someone walks in with a tie covered in tiny rubber ducks. Most people say, "Nice tie." You say, "Okay, I need the story behind the ducks." Now you've taken it from generic to personal. These aren't magic lines. They're just examples of noticing, commenting, and inviting someone to respond, without making them feel interviewed. Part 5. How to train active observation. Now let's turn this into a skill. 3 steps. Look up. Seriously. Put your phone down, take your headphones out, and actually look around. People are walking storylines. You just have to notice the details. Turn details into comments. Don't overthink it. If you notice a bright jacket, say something like, "That's a bold color. I respect it." If you see someone struggling with an overloaded tray of food, say, "That plate's a workout on its own." Get comfortable with silence. This is huge. Not every observation leads to a full conversation. That's not the point. The point is giving people a chance. If they don't respond, fine, you move on. No harm, no foul. Part 6. Why introverts are secretly great at this. Here's the plot twist. Introverts are actually built for this skill. Why? Because introverts are naturally more observant. You already notice the little details most people miss. You pick up on body language, on tone, on the way someone's posture shifts when they're uncomfortable. Active observation just takes that natural skill and puts it to work. Instead of letting your observations stay in your head, you bring one of them into the conversation. That's it. Part 7. The mindset shift. Most people think small talk is shallow, but that's only true if you're not paying attention. With active observation, small talk is just the first layer. Every deep conversation, every meaningful connection starts there. And once you practice it enough, small talk becomes a game. What details can I notice? How can I turn them into a comment? How will they react? You stop worrying about impressing people. You stop trying to be clever, and you start enjoying the process of connecting. So the next time you're at a coffee shop, a party, or even stuck in line somewhere, try this. Notice one detail, make one comment, and let it go. That's it. Worst case, nothing happens. Best case, you've opened the door to a connection that could change your life. Remember, you don't need to be witty, you don't need a script, and you definitely don't need to fake it. You just need to notice. Decoding the skills that give you an edge in life, relationships, and success. If you want more tools like this, make sure to subscribe, because the people who know how to connect, they're the ones who win, not just in conversations, but in life.